Ahead of that, let's talk with Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan. He is the ranking member of the Judiciary Committee and a member of the Oversight Committee. He is also the author of the book, Do What You Said You Would Do, Fighting for Freedom in the Swamp. Congressman, it's great to see you. I've been looking forward to talking with you about all of these developments. What's your reaction now?
Well, you got to take it all in. I mean, first, we have this unprecedented act where they raid the personal residence of the former president of the United States and the likely Republican presidential candidate in 2 years. So, I mean, totally never happened in American history. But you have to view it in context. Remember, this is the same Justice Department that a year ago said we're going to treat parents as domestic terrorists. We know that happened because we've had now over a dozen whistleblowers come to our office and talk about all the political things going on at the Justice Department. Then that's followed up by a vote today that's going to happen on the House floor where the Democrats want to unleash thousands and thousands of IRS agents, lowest learners, to go harass taxpayers. And then, of course, we had what happened at the president's home just this past Monday night, which should never happen in this great country. And when you couple that with the fact that they were working with him, he was cooperating with them on the stuff President Trump went out and talked to the agents when they were there a few months ago, for goodness sake. This makes absolutely no sense. And as we called for early in the week, Merrick Garland and Chris Wray should be in front of the House Judiciary Committee today. After all, we're in town. Why not come talk to us and answer the questions that the American people have about this unprecedented event that took place on Monday night?
Well, there are real questions about the FBI and the DOJ. For 4 years, 5 years, we've been watching mistruths and entrapment schemes, from the Russia collusion lie to an impeachment of President Trump while they sat on Hunter Biden's laptop, to the Gretchen Whitmer situation. All those 4 people who were arrested were actually set free. I guess the trial, the informants. We don't know if that was entrapment as well. Here's something I saw on Instagram. They didn't go after the big guy. They didn't go after Biden's crackhead son. They didn't go after Pelosi for insider trading. They didn't go after the Clintons. They didn't go after Epstein. They went after the one man who promised to expose them all. Where is this going? Are we going to learn anything when we see this warrant, if in fact it's unsealed this afternoon? What do you want to know specifically?
I don't know. I mean, we'll wait till 3 o'clock. It looks like that's the 3 o'clock hours when this is supposed to happen. So we'll see it then. But you're right. That is further context to this whole thing, further history of this. You know, how this whole double standard that drives me crazy, drives you crazy, more importantly, drives the American people crazy, because it's not supposed to operate that way. And never forget this name, Kevin Clinesmith. Kevin Clinesmith was found guilty of altering evidence that was initially used to get the first warrants to go spy on President Trump and his campaign. So we know that they've done that in the past, and this guy basically got a slap on the wrist. He's now back in, I think, good standing with the Bar Association, for goodness sake. He altered 180 degrees a document that was submitted to the court to get the initial warrant to go spy on President Trump. So that is the long history and the double standard that you pointed out. That is why we have so many concerns, and why, again, why won't Merrick Garland? You can do a 4-minute press statement. Big deal. You said you made the decision. Well, we would frankly be surprised if you weren't involved in a decision of that magnitude. But the real questions are, where is this information now? Who's got access to it? How are you safeguarding what you took from President Trump? So a whole host of things that we have questions about, that I think the country would like them in front of our committee to get the answers to those important questions.
Have you heard back from them? Are they going to testify in front of your committee?
No, today would have been the day to do it. Jerry Nadler, I don't think, is going to call for it. I hope there's something that breaks and they would volunteer. We'll come down to, I'm sure we could get the Judiciary Committee together in a matter of minutes. Now, of course, a bunch of Democrats aren't even going to be here. They're going to phone in their vote. The American people have to go to work. They're going to phone in their vote on one of the biggest tax increases and inflation-causing bill, $740 billion. They're going to phone in their vote. But a bunch of Republicans are here on the Judiciary Committee, and we'd be happy to sit down with Merrick Garland and Chris Wray under oath and get answers to the questions that the country has.
Well, I mean, I think those questions also include, what can the Republicans do about this? I mean, the American people understand, they see this corruption, and yet the Democrats keep getting what they want. There's no accountability. There was really very little accountability for the Russia collusion lie. And today they're getting their agenda. They're expected to push through the massive tax and spending plan in the House. Is that going to pass? And tell us specifically what's in it.
every Republican is going to vote against it. I hope we can get a couple Democrats to peel off and vote with us. I think there's a chance. I do think Jared Golden, the Democrat from Maine, is going to vote with us. We need a few more to be able to stop this. Let's hope that happens. But the way you send a message to all the ridiculous things that the Democrats and the Biden administration have done. I mean, remember, Maria, we went from a secure border to no border. We went from stable prices to a 41-year high inflation rate. We went from $2 gas to $5 gas, and we went from safe streets to record crime. They're attacking your First Amendment liberties, your Second Amendment liberties, your Fourth Amendment due process rights, and we know what's happened in foreign policy. So, and you take all that, and then you couple that with what happened to President Trump this past week. So I think the way you send a message is on November 8th. You show this is how we do things in America. On November 8th, the American people show up in a big way, and they say, enough of this baloney, enough of this ridiculous behavior. Let's put Republicans back in charge.
Yeah, unfortunately, even if you do get back in charge after November, it's going to be hard to peel this stuff back. I mean, let's face it. This spending plan is calling for higher taxes, and it's calling for more IRS agents. 87,000 new IRS agents.
Yep.
That will take the number of IRS agents up to 166,000. Let me just compare that to the number of border agents that we have right now, 19,000. Okay, 19 to 20,000 border agents versus 166,000 IRS agents?
Yeah, they're going to use your tax money to harass you, the taxpayer. And you know who these people are going to be. They're going to be left-leaning bureaucrats who aren't going to get in their car and spend $5 to drive to work. They're going to be all working remote, harassing the people who do have to get up and go to work. The people in Ohio that I get the privilege of representing who make things, grow things, and move things, or in agriculture, trucking, manufacturing, construction. They can't zoom it in like Democrat politicians are doing today. They got to get up and go to work, and those are the very people that these bureaucrats are going to harass. That's what's coming in this ridiculous bill, not to mention $740 billion of more spending that's going to exacerbate the 41-year high inflation rate. That's the bill that's on the floor today. That's what the Democrats are focused on, instead of having Merrick Garland and Chris Wray in front of the Judiciary Committee to answer the questions that the American people have. That's your Democrat-run government today, and that's why I think on November 8th, the American people are going to make a big change.
By the way, they keep selling it as if they're going to tax those people who don't pay taxes, pay your fair share this, pay your fair share that. And yet, what did they just do? They removed the carried interest tax so that they could get Kristen Sinema on board. So what are you doing? You're raising taxes for middle America so that the rich can buy electric vehicles?
Yeah, they're going to raise taxes on middle America, and they're going to harass middle America. Here's the people who are going to get hit by these thousands and thousands of agents who are going to come after them. It's going to be the teacher who's got, in the summer, has the painting business. They're going to come after you got that second business. They're going to come after them. It's the mom and dad who run the hardware store in small town America. That's who they're coming after. They're coming after middle-class families because it's not the billionaires. They're coming after all the taxpayers. And, oh, by the way, if that mom and dad who run the hardware store also happen to contribute to Republican candidates for office, you bet they're going to be at the top of the list for being harassed by this IRS.
Wow, that's just extraordinary, Congressman. We know you're on it, and we'll check back with you soon. Thanks very much for making the time this morning.
You bet. Thank you.